The South African Constitution is revered for promulgating gender equality and women's rights. But in reality, most women in this country don't enjoy these ideals. Women represent more than half of the emerging mass market, but play a little role in the financial services industry, and this may underestimate their economic importance for the country's future. When it comes to leadership and making opportunities available for women in the financial planning industry, we have a long way to go. Today, we are joined by independent financial planner Mmatli from Oracle Broker Services. Thank you very much for coming to our program.
Thank you, Colin.
How did it all start for you to be in the financial planning industry?
I started working in the financial services sector after high school. And then I got an internship. Luckily, I started earning a 5-digit figure as well when I was 19. So I needed advice as to what to do with my money. I met with a financial planner, invested in my first retirement annuity. And then my curiosity grew. I wanted to be that person. I wanted to know more about how to make money grow and how can I get into the industry. So I learned the industry, went through excruciating training processes, and that's how I ended up being in the financial services sector.
It sounds like it was smooth sailing for you, but in reality, is it like that for everyone?
Smooth sailing is actually an understatement because I had to go through a series of 5 interviews before I got appointed. I think it was my mindset and my ambition that got me to being in the industry, but smooth sailing is no, it was not that at all.
Tell me about the downside of your life when you came about to realize the importance of retirement planning.
Retirement planning, well, I come from a black family, typical black families, we pay black tax, right? My grandmother worked her whole entire life without a pension fund. So she retired literally on zero when she was 70. So she's the one that actually encouraged me to take my first retirement annuity when I was 19, because she said, I do not want you to end up like me. So a lot of people in the country as well are still doing the same mistakes where they're not investing for their retirement and they end up depending on the state or their kids for retirement funding income later on in life.
Yeah, so now this brings the question of whether or not the financial services industry caters for the challenges that are faced by women regarding single parenting, earning lower than men, and also the burden of trying to raise a big family, whereas they are not able to save and invest. Is this industry catering for those problems?
The financial industry, like any other industry at the moment, I mean, women are expected to do it all. We expected to raise families, we expected to cook for our families, we expected to be professionals, we expected to be doctors to our kids, we expected to do it all. So most industries don't really have a flexibility in terms of women having the liberties to go about it. But for any woman who's looking to go into the financial services industry, you get empowered because you can handle your own diary, you schedule your own appointments, so it gives you a bit more family time than you would when you have a traditional 9-to-5.
So you have a crossover effect kind of impact on the industry. You know the challenges of women, but also you are involved in the ins and outs of planning financially for individuals, let's say those who are independent. Give us a glimpse of now the challenges in the industry itself. Do you think it's transformed enough to liberate a woman like you to be able to go up the ladder?
The problem with the industry itself is that it is male dominated, and not only is it male dominated, it's white male dominated. So I have often found myself in boardrooms where I'm the only female in the boardroom and I'm the only black person. So the industry has not completely transformed, because in order to survive in an industry like this and in order to survive as a financial planner, you need money to make money. And having given the background and the oppression that black people have suffered and women have suffered, we are not financially there yet in order to survive in an industry like this. So a lot of, if you do not have backup, it's very difficult to survive as a woman in this industry.
Most men who are in the financial services industry have worked for an employer before, but ended up having their own companies. Do you think it can be easy for you to end up like them?
It can. It's just that it's where your goals are. Lately, the financial services sector has been transforming as well. There's been new legislations in place. So it's very difficult to be a solo key individual running your own company. So it's better to belong under a Discovery or a Liberty, because new laws have been put in place at the moment. So the support structure is not there to survive, to survive as a solo entrepreneur in this industry.
So where does this take you for you to be able to inspire other women and for them to learn from you so that you can also own your investment or asset management company in the future?
I think with all the women out there, wherever they are, however little they think they might have or however big their salary is, to part like with whatever you have, whether it's 1 rand, 10 rands, 1,000 rand, 100,000 rand, however little is little to you, you have to start somewhere. So the more you start investing, you get into the habit and you conscientize your mind into the right habits. So instead of waiting for one day and one day and one day until you have something or you are somewhere, the time to start is right now and not postponing it for the future.
But then in terms of hands-on ownership for industries like these ones?
In terms of ownership for industries like this one, just get into the industry first, learn the industry, because like I said, there's a lot of legislations that are regulating the industry. So you can't go into the industry if you do not have the proper qualifications, that's one. You cannot get into the industry if you're not registered with the Financial Services Board, that's two. And you cannot get into the industry if you don't have certain accreditations, which are called RE exams. So there's a whole lot of processes that you need to go through in order to qualify as a financial planner. So it's not like 20 years back where you could walk into a company, hand in your CV, or you knew somebody and there, Bob's your uncle, you'd get a job. So the industry has transformed completely. It is professional. So if you get into a company that will give you the proper support structure, that will groom you, that will get you to get your accreditations if you don't have one, I think it's advisable for women to start there before jumping the gun and wanting to rush and own a financial services company.
All right. No, thank you very much for making time to talk to us, and all the best for your future.
Thank you so much, Colin, for having me.
That's independent financial planner Mmatli from Oracle Broker Services talking to us right here on SABC News. Let's take a look at how the markets are doing.